The tragic final moments of Kurt Cobain, the voice of a generation silenced forever. In the raw explosion of grunge that defined the early 1990s, no figure loomed larger than Kurt Cobain. As the frontman of Nirvana, he gave voice to the disillusioned, the alienated, and the deeply sensitive youth of a new decade. With his shredded jeans, haunting blue eyes, and a voice that could shift from whisper to scream in an instant, Cobain became an unwilling icon. Hits like "Smells Like Teen Spirit" changed music forever. But behind the fame was a man in constant pain, physical, emotional, and existential. On April 8, 1994, Kurt Cobain was found dead in his Seattle home from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. His suicide note, addressed partly to his imaginary childhood friend Boda, ended with heartbreaking words quoting Neil Young. "It's better to burn out than to fade away." At just 27 years old, Cobain joined the infamous 27 Club, leaving behind a daughter, a grieving world, and profound questions about fame, mental health, and the cost of genius. Kurt Donald Cobain was born on February 20, 1967, in the working-class town of Aberdeen, Washington, about 100 miles southwest of Seattle. From an early age, he showed extraordinary artistic talent, drawing hyper-detailed pictures of Disney characters and superheroes. His parents, Wendy and Donald, described him as a happy, energetic child until their divorce when he was 9. The split devastated Kurt. He became withdrawn, angry, and felt deeply ashamed of his broken family in a small town, where intact families were the norm. Shuffled between relatives, Kurt eventually settled with his father, but the relationship soured when his dad remarried. By his early teens, he was living with his deeply religious Christian grandparents and uncles. Music became his escape. An uncle gave him a guitar for his 14th birthday, and Kurt taught himself to play. Inspired by the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and later punk bands like Black Flag and the Melvins. In high school, Kurt was an outsider, bullied for befriending a gay classmate, dabbling in drugs and rejecting the jock culture. He dropped out weeks before graduation, working odd jobs like janitor and swimming coach. In 1987, he formed Nirvana with bassist Chris Novoselic, a fellow Aberdeen misfit. They cycled through drummers until landing Dave Grohl in 1990. Nirvana's debut album, Bleach 1989, recorded for just $600 on Sub Pop Records, captured the raw Pacific Northwest sound. But it was 1991's Nevermind, released on major label DGC, that detonated globally. The lead single, Smells Like Teen Spirit, became an anthem of teenage rage and apathy, its iconic video in constant MTV rotation. Nevermind knocked Michael Jackson off the top of the Billboard 200, selling over 30 million copies worldwide. Songs like Come As You Are, Lithium, and In Bloom blended punk fury with unforgettable melodies. Success transformed Nirvana from underground heroes to global superstars overnight. They headlined festivals, sold out arenas, and influenced fashion, language, and youth culture. Cobain's shredded cardigans and thrift store aesthetic became the uniform of a generation. Yet he despised much of what fame brought. Constant media scrutiny, loss of privacy, and the irony of becoming the voice for kids who hated mainstream culture. Kurt's lifestyle during Nirvana's peak was chaotic. Chronic stomach pain, possibly undiagnosed. Crohn's disease or severe ulcers plagued him for years, causing constant nausea and agony. Doctors prescribed painkillers, but Kurt self-medicated heavily with heroin, claiming it was the only thing that quieted both physical and emotional torment. He and wife Courtney Love, whom he married in 1992 in Hawaii while wearing pajamas, became tabloid fixtures for their drug use. Their daughter, Frances Bean Cobain, was born in August 1992. A Vanity Fair article alleging Courtney used heroin during pregnancy sparked a brutal custody battle. Child Services briefly removed Frances from their care. The ordeal deepened Kurt's depression and sense of failure as a father. By 1993, Nirvana released In Utero, a deliberately abrasive album meant to alienate fair-weather fans. Tracks like Heart-Shaped Box and All Apologies showed Cobain's songwriting at its most vulnerable. The band's MTV Unplugged performance in November 1993, featuring haunting covers of Lead Belly and David Bowie, became legendary, with Kurt visibly fragile under dim lights and lilies on stage. Kurt's mental health deteriorated rapidly in early 1994. A heroin overdose in Rome on March 4 was initially reported as accidental, but later believed to be a suicide attempt. Courtney found a note. After brief treatment, he checked himself out and flew back to Seattle. He entered Exodus Recovery Center in Los Angeles on March 30th, but climbed the facility wall the next day and vanished. For a week, Kurt evaded family and private investigators. Sightings placed him in Seattle parks and drug houses. On April 2nd and 3, he visited his Lake Washington home, but avoided Courtney and the nanny. He purchased a 20-gauge shotgun from Stan Baker Sports, claiming it was for protection. On April 5th, 1994, Kurt barricaded himself in the greenhouse room above the garage of his secluded Seattle mansion. He injected a massive dose of heroin, enough, experts later said, to incapacitate most people, then wrote a one-page suicide note in red ink. Addressed to his imaginary childhood friend Boda, it explained his inability to feel joy anymore, his guilt over faking enthusiasm for music, and his fear of becoming a bitter, washed-up rock star. He expressed profound love for Courtney and Francis, writing, "Please keep going, Courtney, for Francis, for her life, which will be so much happier without me. I love you, I love you." He placed his wallet open on the floor for identification, laid the note on a planter with a pen stabbed through it, and ended his life with a shotgun. His body was discovered 3 days later on April 8th by electrician Gary Smith installing security lights. Police found heroin paraphernalia, the note, and the weapon. The news shattered the music world. Fans gathered in vigils at Seattle Center, where Courtney read parts of the note aloud. Thousands attended a public memorial. Some died by suicide in copycat acts. Nirvana's legacy solidified instantly. Grunge's brightest flame extinguished. Kurt Cobain's achievements remain monumental. He shifted rock from hair metal excess to raw authenticity. Nirvana sold over 75 million records. Nevermind and MTV Unplugged in New York are cultural landmarks. Cobain's journals, published posthumously, revealed a brilliant, sensitive mind wrestling with fame and pain. His lifestyle highlights the dark side of sudden stardom. Physical illness went untreated for years. Heroin became both crutch and destroyer. Mental health stigma in the pre-internet era left him isolated. Therapy was tried sporadically but abandoned. The pressure to tour and create while in agony was relentless. Cobain's story teaches enduring lessons. Chronic pain and mental illness are real and debilitating. Early intervention saves lives. Fame doesn't heal inner wounds. It often magnifies them. Young artists need strong support systems, not enablers. Authenticity matters, but self-destruction isn't romantic. Cobain hated being mythologized as a tortured genius. He wanted to make people feel less alone, not emulate his end. Fatherhood and love can't always conquer despair. His note's raw devotion to Francis shows a man who believed his daughter would be better without his darkness. The music industry must protect vulnerable talent. Nirvana's team struggled to manage Kurt's addiction and depression amid massive commercial pressure. Today, Kurt Cobain's influence persists. Artists from Billie Eilish to Post Malone cite him as inspiration. His journals and artwork reveal a multifaceted creator, poet, painter, filmmaker. The Kurt Cobain Memorial Park in Aberdeen honors his roots. His final moments remain heartbreaking. A 27-year-old, alone in a small room, convinced the world and his daughter would be better without him. Those closing words, "It's better to burn out than to fade away," echo Neil Young's defiance, but in Kurt's context, reveal crushing resignation. In remembering Kurt Cobain, we honor not just the music, but the human behind it. A sensitive, brilliant soul who gave everything and asked for understanding in return. His tragedy reminds us to reach out, to listen, to treat mental health with urgency. If you're struggling, help exists. You are not alone. Kurt's voice may be gone, but the conversation he started about pain, authenticity, and survival must continue.